ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
We are virtually 24 hours away, give or take, 24 hours away from the start of Marshall football at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. The opponent, Stony Brook. We'll have the game for you coming up tomorrow, starting at 2 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann, and welcome to The Drive. This is going to be your final word, at least until Saturday, about the Thundering Herd. And, of course, it's high school football night for the majority of schools across West Virginia and, of course, Ohio and Kentucky as well. So we got a lot of games to get into. We're going to talk to Dicky Martin about the Ashland Tomcats in a few minutes. We'll also talk to Woody Woodrum a little bit later on about Huntington High. The Highlanders taking on Hurricane tonight. That's going to be a game you can hear right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The stream will be available as well on our website. You can go to WRVC.com. You can download the app as well. It works on your iOS or your Android device. You'll be covered tonight. We'll have the game with your hometown crew. For those of you that are big Huntington Highlander fans, we'll have the hometown crew doing the game tonight right here. And again, it's on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. All right, we got a little business to attend to before we get to the high school coverage. First up, we got to get the text line going. We do that at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Since it is the night before the game, we're about 24 hours away from the start of this one. What are you most looking forward to on Saturday? And, of course, I think a lot of you are looking forward to the weather just blowing Huntington over. Last check, I was told might be 50-50 tomorrow. I don't want to start scaring people early, but depending on how the weather turns, we might have lightning delays. We might have cooler temperatures. Hopefully, I would hope we could have cooler temperatures. We might have rain. We might have something for everyone when it comes to the weather complexities of the tri-state. It can be hot, then cold, then wet. It can be all of that. It's spring, summer, it's fall and winter, all in one day sometimes in the greater Huntington area. So I hope that we just get, if anything, we just get a little rain. I don't want something too bad. I would like to get this game going and underway. I don't want to have long delays. That doesn't do anybody any good. And, of course, lightning delays are no fun when it comes to sports. So let's just hope for the best, and we'll keep an eye on that as well. We'll hit the air again tomorrow, 2 o'clock. We'll have the latest update on the weather situation. We'll be live at the West Lot. We're going to be near the M Club Pavilion, so that's where you can find us this year and all season long. I'm told that some of the best tailgates are near the M Club Pavilion. We're going to put that to the test. We're going to find out, hopefully, all season long. That's not a hint or anything. I mean, if you want to bring your tailgate stuff over to us, I know a few guys that will definitely be thankful for that. Of course, our game day crew, including the legendary Woody Woodrum and, of course, Bill Cornwell and Christian Palmer. All of those guys will be with me on Saturday. And, of course, if you've got your tailgate nearby, come over and visit us. Let us know what you got on your tailgate. So we're kind of pre-selling what we're doing on Saturday. So our text line opening up just now, 304-396 Talk, 304-396-8255. Texter wrote in and is asking a little bit about the quarterback situation. Says, Paul, Coach Huff said on the call-in show last night that they were deciding on a quarterback tomorrow night or last night. Any news? Nothing yet. Nothing's been official. Just because they're deciding doesn't mean they're going to tell us. I think that's going to be more of an internal decision. We'll find out on Saturday. I know a lot of people want to know, is it going to be one of the three that we've talked about all month long? Is it going to be Cole Pennington? That seems to be the fan favorite. Cole Pennington, of course, he's Chad Pennington's son, so there's a lot of fans from the old days when Marshall was running through teams with Chad, of course, being the quarterback for many of those teams, one of the all-time greats at Marshall University. So I know there's a lot of people that want Cole to kind of continue on, have a Pennington. It was nice to have a Pennington back, a legacy player. And so there's a lot of people maybe want Cole to be the guy. And then there's Stone Earl. And I would think that if I'm picking between Braylon Braxton and Stone Earl, I might go with the guy that's been here longer. And that's my reasoning for picking Braylon maybe over Stone. And I say that not to really indicate that I know something or like, okay, Braylon's just that far ahead of Stone because Braylon's been here longer. Or Stone is just that much better than Braylon, so maybe he gets to start. I don't know. And they've been pretty close to the vest when it comes to letting us know how close or how far apart these guys are. They're saying, look, we got 3 guys. They're real close. We don't know. And I still think we're not going to truly know, not this first game. Cole could get to start. You could put Cole out there. He's out there for a little bit. And then maybe Braylon Braxton gets to play, and then maybe Stone Earl gets to play. I don't know if you're going to be able to get to all your quarterbacks. Maybe you do. Maybe you hold one guy back a little bit. Run a basic offense if you can, because, again, Stony Brook's coming in here. They're a brand-new team. Over 40 players from the transfer portal. They have a brand-new coach as well. So you really don't know what they're going to run. This might be a challenge for a little while until Marshall can adjust. So I'm interested to see what happens on Saturday as much as you are. I mean, there are some positions that we know. Like, again, Logan Osborne. Yeah, we know Logan Osborne is starting. We know Ethan Payne's going to probably be the starting running back. We know that. We know Mike Green's starting. We know that. J.J. Roberts, we know he's starting. I think the defensive guys are a little bit more. That's almost set. It's a rough draft, but again, that's almost set, whereas the offense, a couple things might flip. 304-396-TALK. Texter says, Paul, the only thunder I want to hear is Thunderstruck on the Jumbotron. In all seriousness, though, I'm afraid that the weather will really affect the game play-wise. I'm taking a much lower final score due to numerous fumbles, interceptions, etc. Yeah, the air raid might get shut down a little bit. The good thing about the air raid is it's not 100% a pass offense. It does open up the running game, so there will be allowances made for a possible running attack. It's not just, chuck it on first down, chuck it on second down. Hey, it's fourth down. You know what we do in Madden? We throw it on fourth down as well. So it's going to be okay. Texter writes in and he says, what's Woody Woodrum think of country roads at Marshall? I'll ask him. You'll find out. It's coming up about 5:30. You'll find out what he thinks of country roads. I still haven't heard a suitable replacement. If you're gonna not play country roads and just ban it from the stadium, maybe the band should play Thunderstruck. Give me the band version of Thunderstruck. Would that work? I mean, you got to have Thunderstruck on the big board, the Jumbotron, whatever we're calling that. Did we ever get a name for that thing, the scoreboard? I know they were workshopping a few ideas, but that should be blasting all the time. We should hear Thunderstruck all the time. You know how Virginia Tech has Enter Sandman? Thunderstruck, you should make that a big deal. I want to hear that. I want to hear the band playing that. Let's talk high school football for a little bit. We got Dicky Martin coming up, and then we're going to hear from Woody Woodrum, and we'll find out what Woody Woodrum thinks of country roads. I might even make him twitch a little bit, ask him what he thinks of the color purple. He's a big fan of it, I hear. Don't ask him that, ever. If you never, ever want to see that man twitch really hard, don't ask him what he thinks of purple. Quick time out. Dicky Martin joins us on the other side of the break. This is The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Remember the first day of school, new backpack, fresh hairstyle, cool new shoes? Now, if only Mom had washed the car before dropping you off. Send your kids back to class and help them make a great first impression this new school year with a clean ride from Thoroughbred Express. Choose from a range of services tailored to meet your needs. From their signature wash and dry to tire shine, foam bath, triple foam, wheel cleaner, bug press, ceramic seal, ceramic shield, and weather guard. Thoroughbred Express has you covered. And after your wash, enjoy post-wash amenities like high-powered vacuums, all-purpose cleaner spray, fresh microfiber towels, and dedicated bay trash cans. All available at your local Thoroughbred Express location. So whether you're dropping the kids off or heading to campus yourself, a quick visit to Thoroughbred will make this school year shine. Wash with the best. Thoroughbred Express. Find a Thoroughbred Express location near you at thoroughbredexpress.com.
Hey, it's Lex and Terry, K&B Pest Control, locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the tri-state.
Man, these guys are great. They do residential and commercial, indoor, outdoor, free estimates. These guys are the best, I'm telling you.
This is when the critters come out. High customer rating, satisfaction guaranteed, large fleet, crew, meaning same-day appointments, and quick service.
All you got to do is pick up your phone and call Patrick, the owner. Okay, that's what you got to do. Or Becca. They're standing by to take care of you guys. It's KNBPestControl.com online. And give them a call, man. They got a great Facebook page. Go ahead and like it. They got a phone number. We'll give you that. Why not? It's free. 304-523-4281.
Or go to KNBPestControl.com. They will tell you what everything looks like, what you're looking for, if you're getting a pest problem, and get on top of it. They're the best. Make sure you call Patrick once again, who is very passionate about his pest control, or Becca. K&B Pest Control. They'll kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at K&B Pest Control.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road. Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-566-1649. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-566-1649. That's 800-566-1649.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Friday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Still to come, we're going to talk to Woody Woodrum. Tonight, Huntington High starting off the season against Hurricane. It's a 7 o'clock airtime right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Coming up tonight on our sister station, Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. The Ashland Tomcats back in action tonight, taking on West Jessamine. And to tell us a little bit more about that matchup and recap last week's victory over Raceland is longtime voice of the Ashland Tomcats, Dicky Martin. Last week, off to a great start once again for the Tomcats. Recap, if you would, Raceland game. For a while, it felt like it could go back and forth, but Ashland put a stop to that.
Yeah, it was first quarter. It was, kind of a feel-me-out type thing, like most quarters are. And being the first game of the year and all that kind of stuff. But Ashland took it down, scored, and made some adjustments, I think, at the quarter break. It stopped Raceland's offense pretty much and got another touchdown in the second quarter. And really, I don't think the game was really ever in doubt. It was just, Ashland getting adjusted to what Grayson was doing offensively and defensively, making those adjustments, and they got the job done.
Who stood out to you? Just looking at this game, yeah.
That's we had two receivers that really played well: Sam Lyons, Cameron Davis. LeBron Strader passed for over 200 yards. The Kelly kid on defense played pretty well. It's hard to pick out one or two because I think they were all pretty good.
Dicky Martin's with us. He'll have the call tonight of Ashland at West Jessamine. And West Jessamine lost last week. They lost to Wayne County.
Right.
First of all, what do we know about Wayne County before we go into this game tonight?
Well, they're a 4A team, just like Ashland. They don't pass the football at all. I think they passed for 2 yards last week, but they ran it for over 200. And West Jessamine's never been known for the defense. I mean, every time we played them, we scored at least 50 points. So, West Jessamine has a problem stopping people. They just want to score. And weren't able to against Wayne County, and hopefully it's what's going to happen tonight.
Team always gets better, maybe the most from week 1 to week 2.
That's what coaches say.
What do you think?
And I don't know. I've been doing this for a long time, but maybe they do, maybe they don't. Coaches know better than I do, so we'll say the most improvement you'll make is between week 1 and week 2, but. I'm not sure that's true or not, because then you get to week 6, 7, or 8, and you go, wow, this is not the same team that teed it up back in August,
Did we get a good enough look last week of the Tomcats to kind of figure out where they're going to be best at, where they might need a little adjustment?
No. I was told before the game that we were going to play very conservative, and we did. We ran it outside maybe twice, 2-3 times all night long. We stayed between the tackles running the football. We didn't go deep at all. We ran slants and the little bubble passes on our passing game. Didn't blitz at all. Of course, we don't blitz a lot, but we do from time to time, but didn't blitz at all last Friday. So we were very, very conservative.
Dicky Martin's with us. He's on the road right now. You're still in the car, aren't you? I'm surprised we have cell service.
You got that right, big boy.
How's the trip?
We are on the road.
Yeah, how's the trip so far?
Oh, so far so good. Charlie Chatfield's in charge, driving, and Hobie's Rogers in the back seat, and I'm just playing passenger, so we're all good.
Okay, so you got your regular crew back, so the gang is back finally.
Oh yeah.
How'd you like working with Bill Cornwell last week, though? I mean, he's
all right.
He's all right. He's all right, right?
He's harmless.
He's harmless. I love it.
Uh-huh.
So, this game tonight, we anticipate Ashland winning this game. Ashland's favored in this one, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Are these two first opponents going to be a really good gauge for what's to come for the Tomcats?
No. Now, Raceland's got a good football team, but they're not as good as they have been the last couple of years. West Jessamine they're a playoff football team, but, it's not a good gauge. Next week, we'll get a much better idea because it's that Harvest Prep team from Columbus that's coming in. And they got a lot of athletes, and they were a state runner-up a year ago, so they know the game.
So is it going to be a little bit more of the same from last week? Maybe be a basic base team. Don't want to give away too much. Don't want to put your stars in any peril. You want to win the game at the same time.
Probably.
Yeah.
It might be. I think they'll open it up just a tad bit more. Maybe tonight, but I'm not sure it's going to. The opponent's not going to see everything we've got in our doctor's bag. No.
My guest is Dicky Martin. He is the voice of the Tomcats, coming up tonight on our sister station, Cat Sports, 93.3 and 1340. It's going to be an 8 o'clock kick. So hopefully that means a few more fans might make the trip, or at least thought about it.
We're in central Kentucky now, and temperature, let me look here, is 91.
Nice.
It has dropped. It's 91. It's cloudy, and it had rained in one spot where we were going down 64, but not raining now. But it is very cloudy. So, and the temperature's dropped from it was probably pushing 100.
How crazy is do you anticipate? Let's be honest here. Yeah, summer nights. We're used to some hot nights. We're used to
right.
playing some games out. It's a little hot here, but we're talking about some ludicrous temperatures here.
Right.
Yeah. How do you, other than just hope that everything works out? How do you over your years? Just how do you get ready for a game like this when you got to push it back, and of course you got a heat concern there, and I'm not talking just hot. I'm talking heat concern here. That's got to throw it off a little bit for both teams. Obviously, the vibe.
Oh yeah, and more. Ashland's not real deep this year. They got a lot more players going both ways this year than they have in the last probably 2-3 years. So, the officials got to keep an eye on things and give them water breaks and call timeouts that are not called for. But, you don't want anything to happen. There's too many accidents that happen to young men playing football, and this does not need to add to it. So, you do the best you can. That's all you can do, and give them water breaks and let them take a break every now and then. There's nothing wrong with that.
Also, we're going to keep you hydrated tonight out there. So hopefully your crew,
yes,
your crew is going to bring your water bottles at every 15 minutes?
You betcha. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Those guys should know to take care of you, right?
Yeah, okay. Surely they'll have it. Yeah, we'll be all right.
I hope so. Dicky Martin's with us. Of course, Dicky and I have known each other for years, so usually when we get together on the radio, it's not very formal. Yesterday, though, I had to be really formal, Dicky, because had Tom Hammond on yesterday, so I was I was
he's
really
in
formal
tonight.
Yeah, I was a real formal.
Sorry, I can't be there.
I told him that. I said, you couldn't. You were mad that you couldn't be there, and he appreciated that.
I'd love to see Tom and Mark Story from the Lexington newspaper, but we've got a game, and they're at Tom Hammond's book signing, so that's a neat thing.
Yeah, Have you ever talked to Hammond? Ever a chance?
Have I? Oh yeah, I've talked to him over the years.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him lately.
Right, yeah.
And I don't have the book yet, but I'll get it. I'll go down to Broadway Books and get it. Yes.
Just how amazing is that man's career?
Oh my goodness, he's done it all. He's been to the top, to the very top.
The only
Olympics, Triple Crown.
Horse racing,
football, basketball. He's had it. I mean, that guy has, and he is. He's one of the great broadcasters of all time. He's just a great guy, very professional, and very good at what he does.
The only thing he regrets, and he said he emphasized this, that he has had a charmed life, but the way that the NFL package worked out when he was finally the guy, he didn't have an opportunity because they didn't have a NFL package over there at NBC, so he didn't get to call a Super Bowl. Yeah.
That's one of the few things he didn't get to call because he's called everything else.
Too bad we can't just dial one up and say, you know what? Let's just dial this one up for Tom.
There you go. I'm with you.
When do you get to call a Super Bowl, Dicky?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
We'll take a state championship. How's that?
You got that right. I'll take another one of those right now.
All right. Be safe tonight. Keep hydrated.
Okay, pal.
I'll talk to you soon, my friend. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Paul.
That's Dicky Martin. Always fun to talk to him. Again, we have fun. It's a Friday. We always have fun here. Someone else who I have fun talking to is Woody Woodrum. We'll do that when we continue. Huntington High coming up tonight, taking on Hurricane. That's at 7 o'clock. We'll have that for you right here on ESPN 94.1 at AM 930. More coming up, including Woody Woodrum and your text on this edition of The Drive.
Are you tired of the blazing sun beating down on you while you drive? Well, say goodbye to heat and glare with ProTint, your Lumar Formula One tint installer. ProTint's premier window tinting not only keeps you cool and comfortable, but also protects your vehicle's interior from fading and cracking. ProTint guarantees a flawless installation every time. Choose ProTint for a sleek, stylish look, unbeatable UV protection, and customer service. Visit WV ProTint on Facebook today.
Get ready for one more round of Mount West 9th Street Live. Sponsored by New Trail, Garage Beer, Big Truck, The Beast, La Marca Prosecco, and Matua Sauvignon Blanc. This Friday is Huntington Music and Arts Festival night, featuring Brad Goodall with Massing. Music starts at 7 on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. And thanks for a great summer. And we'll see you next May after this Friday. 9th Street Live is driven by Yes Chevy, Yes Ford. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Marshall OBGYN, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Impact Media, Xfinity High-Speed Internet, One Way Septic and Rent-A-Can, and Kindred Communications.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Thornhill Auto Group, your total automotive dealer offering Buick, Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, GM, Jeep, Lincoln, Mitsubishi, and Ram product lines. Community Trust Bank, located beside Pullman Square on 3rd Avenue. Pollux Jewelers, providing professional service with a personal touch. Visit Pollux Jewelers at 913 Winchester Avenue in Ashland.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
We continue on with this Friday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, Paul, I love country roads, but its home is in the north, not here. The offense will be vanilla. Coach won't show too much. So country roads continues to be a topic on this show. It seems to be a thing that has just grown on its own. And someone even wanted to know what Woody Woodrum's take was on country roads. Well, Woody Woodrum's here right now. He'll be part of the broadcast crew that's going to bring you Huntington High and Hurricane tonight right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So, Woody, what's your take on country roads? We want to hear it at Jones C. Edwards Stadium.
I so wish that John Denver had actually come to West Virginia. Then maybe he would have listed those rivers and mountains over in Western Virginia. But hey, it's a good song. When I moved away a couple of times, Tulsa and Kalamazoo, I enjoyed hearing it on the radio when I was coming back home and going back and forth. So I know they played it up in Mountaineer Field for their inaugural game, and John Denver was there and all that. But I think it's a song that anybody from West Virginia can kind of enjoy. So why not play it?
I think the band should play Thunderstruck, not just pipe in AC/DC's version, but have the band play.
I agree with you. I'd like to hear a lot more of the band. They're really good. They're getting bigger, and I'd like to hear a lot more music out of them.
Remember, I used to be not the band guy. You remember that, right?
Yeah. You were Paul, not the band guy, Swann.
That was me. And now, I want more of the band. They're getting bigger. They're getting stronger. I want more of the band. Let's just get that rolling here. They can play Thunderstruck. And I'm sure there's a tuba version of that. It's
well.
Go ahead.
We got a pretty good game up here in Putnam County tonight.
I was going to mention that. Yeah, I did call you for a reason, and it's not just to cut up like old times here. People should remember Fridays are not very formal around here.
No. The award-winning stuff comes Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm not guaranteeing you Monday. Monday's Labor Day. I think we got a baseball game that afternoon as well, so I'll be back with you on Tuesday. I'm just putting that out there. Oh yeah. You know what? Paul Swann and Woody Woodrum get a day off. Do you believe that?
I never knew what Labor Day was until I became. Went out there and worked football in Oklahoma. And of course, that was a summer professional league. And we had a great season of 8-2, lost a playoff game at the last second in a driving rainstorm. And but went to Labor Day and we partied and we camped out. We had drinks, we had girls, we had a floating raft we had built out of foam that came out of all the pagers and cell phones we were starting to sell. And it was a wonderful experience. So I've had one Labor Day, maybe two, in 55 years of being involved in football since 1969 when I gave it a try for the 8th grade at Woodrow Wilson Junior High, and then put on the uniform of Winfield in the 9th grade. And then, thank goodness, Coach McCoy said, why don't you and Bobby and Jimmy and Bill become managers? And there you go.
And there you go. History. All right, let's not get too far off track. We got Huntington at Hurricane tonight. It's moved up. It's moved back. Our airtime is going to be 7 o'clock. 7:30 is going to be kick unless they change it again. Give us sort of an overview. Give us a kind of a lay of the land here. What can we expect tonight?
Yeah, one thing, they got the storms a little worse than we did in Huntington last night. I know the wind blew like crazy last night, and hardly any rain fell, but they actually had power outages here in Putnam County, and they were just checking with us to make sure we were on. So, and it is honestly a little bit cooler here in the country as we're sitting here, Christian and myself in the press box. It's a little bit cooler up here than it was in the city, but still, upper 80s at least, and but both these teams are, they're bringing back a lot of players who have been very good players in their career, and I don't think that's selling either team short. Noah Vela-Thomby, who last year switched to running back when Kai Long, the son of the former Herd receiver, Jared Long, came back from Akron, and he started quarterback and had a great year last year. He had 120 of 184 with only 2 interceptions. 170 yards a game and 19 touchdowns. But Noah, who started liking football when he was 7 years old, and so that's why he started wearing the number 7 back then, still wears it today. He rushed for 131 yards a game, led the team, had 20 touchdowns on the ground, and did a marvelous job, 1,436 yards of grinding, and also in a backup role, hit 22 of 44 for 291 yards as a backup quarterback. So he's he's being recruited by a lot of folks, and he's got an outstanding receiver, Tyshawn Dews, 5'11", 175-pound senior, who last year, again, was outstanding. 46 catches, 884 yards, 80 yards a game, 10 touchdowns. And they got Kylan Grace, who I saw when he played middle school football way back when, doing those championships up there on the PA. And he is a very good athlete like his dad was, 5'9", 200-pound junior. Last year rushed for just over 500 yards, 50 yards a game average, and had 8 touchdowns. So they've got some guys who can play, and both teams are huge up front. A Hurricane across the front has a new starter at center, but most of the rest of the kids are back, and they go 270, 280, 285, 265, 235 on the right tackle. But Huntington is nothing if it's not big, and, they go across the front 290, 290, 260, 260, and 275. So it's going to be on the running game, who can get outside, who has the best speed. I would give a slight edge to Huntington, but, Hurricane certainly is a speedy team too. It looks like that Tavion Wilson will probably get the start at quarterback. Avante Crawford hitting the shin during the Ashland scrimmage. He has thrown and ran on the leg, but I think for now they're going to go with Tavion, who has been taking every snap since that Ashland scrimmage 2 weeks ago. And he's got so many weapons, starting with Zaw Jackson, who's headed to West Virginia, although he went back to his freshman number 8. That's what he wore as a frosh. He's been the 2-time winner of the Carl Lee Award as the best DB in the state.
He was good, by the way.
Yeah,
Carl Lee. I don't know if you knew him.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He was all right.
That was one that Sonny Randall did steal from West Virginia because they were seriously after Carl, and Sonny talked him into coming there because he could start for 4 years, which he did.
And best decision ever for him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then 12 years in the NFL at cornerback. So, yeah, it worked out pretty well. But Zaw Jackson, who, last year rushed for over 900 yards, 12 touchdowns, was outstanding. He had 14 touchdowns in all because he had some in the return game and some receiving as well. But to that, they have added Keegan Sack, who is the transfer from George Washington, and he's about the same size as Zaw Jackson, 5'11", 190, 195 between them. And while Zaw is going to West Virginia to play safety, Keegan Sack has already confirmed he's going to the Air Force Academy, which is a great turn. But in his career, he has rushed for over 1,100 yards, 15 touchdowns. He's a kid that also had 107 catches for over 1,600 yards in his career. He's a tremendous athlete, and you're going to see those guys in the backfield along with Bryce Winkfield, who rushed for 265 last year and had a couple of touchdowns. So there are guys that are going to line up and knock each other off the ball, and both the defenses are going to be tested, where Sack, Jackson, Dante Newsome, another former Herd player like Travion Wilson. Dante Newsome's boy is now cornerback and a backup quarterback for this team. Dix Chandler, who played some cornerback last year at the other corner, and then Sack and Jackson in the safety positions for this team. So just about everywhere you look, Paul, there are kids that are either going to be, will be, or will still be all-state players with this coming year.
Don't forget on your depth chart, 20 is now 10. So,
yes,
yeah,
20
is now 10. 20 is now 10.
Landon Miller, yes, the 2-year starter, he's the leading returner with 79 tackles last season. 23 of those on special teams. That set a record in the 3 years I've been keeping track of them. And he also had 5 tackles for loss, forced a fumble, and recovered 2 fumbles. So he is a really first-class kid at the linebackers. The other guys, less tested. They're going to have to step up back there. Got some youngsters around them. We got some seniors who haven't played a bunch. But I think, they've got the makings of a very good, strong front. And, like always, they're going to be big in the middle and fast on the outside on the defensive line.
I had to mention that only because 10's mom made sure that we got booster cards this year.
Right.
Yeah, and so she would take them
from
away from us if we did not mention her son. I'm just looking out for both of us, brother.
Another guy that they got is Jordan Price, is a transfer from GW for his senior year. He had 19 punts for 500 yards last year, along to 48. He also kicked a couple of field goals and was almost perfect on extra points. I think he's a kid that he can hit it into the end zone on every kickoff if they want to let him. And compared to, Johnny I was such a good kicker, but this kid dwarfs I in the size. I mean, he stands at 6'1", 210, looks like a linebacker, and occasionally on the kickoff team has tackled like one. So it's going to be interesting to see him added to this already outstanding offensive defense that Huntington and Hurricane both have.
Woody Woodrum's with us, does not like country roads at Jones C. Edwards Stadium, and will be on the broadcast with Christian Palmer tonight. Huntington taking on Hurricanes. 7 o'clock is going to be our airtime. 7:30 will be kickoff unless they push it back even further. But hot one tonight out there across the tri-state. This should be a fun one also. The first time that the Highlanders and the Redskins have competed as a Quad A school.
Yes.
Quad A.
In the playoffs. We know that going into game one.
Already in the playoffs. Playoff bound. Huntington Highlanders. Quad A. Okay, but just you and me now. Everyone's calling it Quad A. I'm not feeling that.
I like 4A.
I like 4A better, too.
Yes, I'm not going to call it Quad A.
I don't have a monopoly on the high school mindset here in the state, so I can't. I have to go along with everybody, I think.
Right. Well, I'm in your pocket on 4A.
Yeah, it should be 4A, but okay, that's fine.
And it should 4A itself right on out of the picture and go back to 3 classes next year.
Now, you know what happened here was there's an opportunity for more kids to get into the playoffs and more money to be made. You know what happened here.
More kids. It's really more games, which is more money. That's right. What it's about.
That's what it is.
They're not really all about the kids getting, because most of those early games are routes when 16 plays 1 and 15 plays 2. I mean, it gets pretty ugly, and I don't think that will change with 4 classes any more than it did with 3.
No, I'm all for the kids getting opportunities, but at the same time, this is a small state. I think you should rebalance the classifications, and it's never going to happen because nobody's going to agree with the classifications. Go back to the old system's probably the best compromise, because you had a lot of schools that did not want to be Quad A, and they found their way down to Triple A, and vice versa and vice versa. So,
well, and the other thing it's going to make happen, Paul, quite frankly, is Cabell Midland, Hurricane, Huntington being the only Quad A guys down in this end of the world, they're going to have to start either making trips to the one of the peninsula panhandles here in West Virginia, either the eastern or the northern, where there are some teams, but it's faster to go to Lexington or faster to go to Columbus, faster to go to somewhere in southern Kentucky or maybe even Virginia is only 2.5, 3 hours. So I don't think they're going to make a lot of 5-hour trips over to the eastern panhandle to play football. I think they're going to look for people that they can play in the vicinity. So I don't know what that accomplishes. It means less West Virginia teams playing West Virginia teams. I don't know that that's a good thing, and it's not going to help the Gates, that's for sure.
Woody Woodrum's with us. He'll be on the call alongside Christian Palmer. You guys stay out of trouble tonight. Huntington and Hurricane, 7 o'clock airtime right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I mean that. Stay out of trouble this year, all right?
I'm going to try.
All right. Woody Woodrum, he's on his best behavior for tonight's game. Quick timeout. We'll go back to our text line. We got a game coming up tomorrow as well. Marshall, Stony Brook. Final thoughts on that when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Save big on everything for your next project at Menards. Rust-Oleum's 5-in-1 spray paint lets you choose from 5 unique spray patterns with a twist of the dial. Use it on a wide range of wood or metal projects for long-lasting results. Available in 40 color options at Menards, America's #1 home improvement retailer for customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power. Visit jdpower.com for details and menards.com for deals.
Save big money at Menards.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Remember the first day of school, new backpack, fresh hairstyle, cool new shoes? Now, if only mom had washed the car before dropping you off. Send your kids back to class and help them make a great first impression this new school year with a clean ride from Thoroughbred Express. Choose from a range of services tailored to meet your needs. From their signature wash and dry to tire shine, foam bath, triple foam, wheel cleaner, bug press, ceramic seal, ceramic shield, and weather guard. Thoroughbred Express has you covered. And after your wash, enjoy post-wash amenities like high-powered vacuums, all-purpose cleaner spray, fresh microfiber towels, and dedicated bay trash cans. All available at your local Thoroughbred Express location. So whether you're dropping the kids off or heading to campus yourself, a quick visit to Thoroughbred will make this school year shine. Wash with the best. Thoroughbred Express. Find a Thoroughbred Express location near you at thoroughbredexpress.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We're wrapping up today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We've been having fun today. I hope you've had fun with us as well. High school football getting started in the Mountain State. Ohio and Kentucky already getting the head start on everyone else. A few matchups in the area to talk about, just a few that interested us. Spring Valley's got South Point tonight. Fairland's going to be at Point Pleasant. Tulsa and Wayne, that should be a fun one tonight. Boyd County is taking on Bell County tonight. Letcher County Central will be at Raceland tonight. You got to mention Ironton at all times because they're going to be really good again. They looked good last week. They've got Jackson tonight. So a few matchups across the tri-state. And, of course, our game right here on ESPN 94.1. And AM 930 is going to be Huntington at Hurricane. And, again, that's coming up tonight, 7 o'clock airtime and 7:30 kick. Over on Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340, it's going to be Ashland at West Jessamine. And that's going to come up tonight at 7:30 with an 8 o'clock kick. Again, heat advisory across many parts of our region. So some games being pushed back tonight because of the temperatures. If you're going out to a game tonight, of course, please stay hydrated, stay safe, and have a great time as well. And if you're going to go listen to if you're going to go watch the Huntington game tonight, take your phone with you, download the app. Get that over at WRVC.com. It's also on the App Store, so if you got an iPhone or you got an Android device, just give it a search, WRVC. You can find the app there, and we got the links to those apps on our website. So you can just go right there, click that link. If you've got your phone with you, just go over to the website, WRVC.com, click that particular link, and it'll take you to your app store. You can download it right there. So pretty easy way to do that. And, of course, you can do it the old-fashioned way. Just pull up the website, WRVC.com. For those of you listening right now, you pretty much know. You know the deal. You know how to make it happen. All right, we got a game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. We can finally see what this Thundering Herd team looks like. Some of the big questions. Will Marshall come out and really showcase what the air raid's all about, or are we going to see maybe a slow burn here? Will Marshall come out, maybe deliberate but basic, not showing too much at the same time, giving everyone an opportunity to play? Also, will the Thundering Herd settle on a quarterback? We've got 3 options. One is a fan favorite, and Cole Pennington. Will he get some playing time? Where's he at in relation to the other 2? So we got some questions to answer. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more of that, and that's coming up tomorrow. Let's go back to our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texture says, Paul, I'll get a quick rant. Can we please stop having our bye week so early? Having your first home game tomorrow, and then having to wait a whole month before Western Michigan. Come on, man. I'm doing that in our Rock PD's voice, Eric, on the Planet. You guys listen to 92.7 and 98.5, the Planet. He actually says it that way. And the texter said, "Come on, man." So I do that in honor of my guy, Eric. Come on, man. He does it in that voice. So, come on, man. Do you want an open game a little bit before the start of the conference slate, maybe in the middle of that? Maybe you start playing and then you try to work an open game somewhere in one of those gaps that makes sense. I think part of it also is going to come down to, of course, who can you get in here? Who can you schedule? Who's going to be able to come in and who's going to be able to fill a slot in your schedule? And is it a home game? Is it going to be a road game? So you've got the game against Stony Brook on August 31st and then September 7th at Virginia Tech. And then you got a couple weeks before Marshall takes on Ohio State. And then 28th, it's going to be Marshall and Western Michigan. Then you get into the meat of it. You get into the conference slate. I would rather see the Thundering Herd balance that out, if possible, a little bit better, only because I'd like to see Marshall, maybe have a more of a mid-season break somewhere in there. Does an open week, week 3, does an open week in week 3 give you that much more of a opportunity to get ready for Ohio State? Or could you get ready for Ohio State in a week's time like you would a normal game, and then have that break somewhere in the middle where you could technically get ready for some different opponents? And, of course, you got that Georgia State game on Thursday, October 17th, and then the Herd's back at it on November 2nd. So you do have a safety valve there. But would you like that open week a little bit more, maybe a few games in, then maybe a few more games in? Are you okay with the way the open schedule is the rest of the way? I mean, for fans, it's going to be hard because, again, Stony Brook's first, and then you've got 2 games that are going to be on the road, and you've got August 31st to September 28th. Home game, road, break, road, Western Michigan. The good news is you got at least a couple of games at home. The last 2 games of the season are going to be on the road. So after November 16th, we don't have home football unless there's a championship game being played at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. So that's where we're at right now. Hopefully the Thundering Herd can possibly work the schedule out to be a little bit more fan-friendly and team-friendly at the same time. The conference slate's the conference slate. I mean, I would anticipate next year Marshall would get a game at the end of the season at home. So that's the conference slate. You don't have that much control over the conference slate. The non-conference side of things, it's hard to juggle that. And I say that sincerely because you got to schedule those games years and years in advance. You know how that works. You try to figure out who's going to be a good game. And if you look at the schedule next year, you've got Georgia on August 30th. You got Missouri State on the 6th of September, and then you have Middle Tennessee on September 20th. Don't know what that 4th game will be just yet. In 2026, it's a little bit better. On the road at Penn State, then Middle Tennessee, on the road at Missouri State, Eastern Michigan. So, week home, week off, it's a little bit more manageable. I'm interested to see what the schedule looks like when it's finalized in 2025, though. You get that 4th game you're looking for. What are you going to do there? 26, 27, almost set. 27, 28's pretty set. 29, of course, who knows? All right, we're out of time. We are about ready to run over. So we'll be back with you next week. I'll be back with you on Saturday, 2 p.m. right here on ESPN 94.1 at AM 930 and 93.7 The Dog. We'll be in football mode fully. No turning back now. and then I'll be after the game. If it's a good game, we'll have a quick post game. If it's not so good of a game, we're going to spend a lot of time together on Saturday. That's what I anticipate. Have a great night, everyone.
Retransmitting on Glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.